Some of you may know that I've done Toastmasters before. I never made it past regionals, but I learned so much, and it's an amazing group of people if you want to learn how to speak more better, which they would catch you on that. They catch you on the ahs and the ums and all the other things. So if you want to learn to speak better, Toastmasters, I highly recommend. Today, I rejoined a new club. It's the Swanee Power Hour Club. If you're interested, let me know. It's all online because so much of what we do nowadays is through video or Zoom meetings. And so I just recently rejoined Toastmasters and I redid my icebreaker, which is the first speech you give when you do Toastmasters as a new member. So I thought I'd go ahead and share it with all of you. And I'd love your feedback and anything you liked or any ideas you have for improvement. Let's go. So first of all, when I was a boy, like many of you, I was asked the question, so what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember that? Do you remember being asked that by adults and being a kid and all you wanted to do was play video games or play outside? What kind of question is that? So my answer was always either I don't know, or I would list out a whole number of things I was interested in, like an astronaut. I mean, when you're a kid, astronauts are pretty dang cool. You know, who wants to travel in space and go and discover new galaxies and maybe meet Darth Vader? I wanted to be a doctor. Doctors do a lot of good. If you've watched Patch Adams, I mean, that was amazing. Who didn't watch Patch Adams and want to change their career and be a doctor, right? I also wanted to be a teacher. My mom was a teacher. My mom retired from teaching after 20 years plus. She was an amazing teacher, earned her doctorate there. I wanted to be a video gamer. If you're anything like me, when I was a kid, video games were first coming out. We had the Nintendo, the Sega, the Atari, the Commodore 64. We had all those systems, and it was still new. It was 8-bit, even 16-bit came out. But I loved video games, and I was like, you know what? If I can get paid to do this as an adult, sign me up. That never happened. I also thought about I wanted to be a husband someday. I wanted to grow up and get married to a beautiful, wonderful woman, and I hoped for that. I wanted to have a big family. Now, when I was a kid, I wanted to have 10 kids. 10. Okay, no joke. I wrote a paper about it when I was a kid. I think my teacher shared it with my parents. But I wanted a big family. Maybe you did too. Did you want a big family? Anyway, so I also wanted to be a missionary. I wanted to serve a 2-year mission, proclaiming the gospel of the good news to the world. And I listened to Uncle Sam. I wanted to be in the army, in the military. I wanted to join up. And I also, doing all of this, wanted to stay in shape and maintain a GQ bod. That has not turned out, by the way. And I wanted to be an author. I wanted to write books. I love books. I always wanted to write books. I wanted to do all of these things. I wasn't 100% sure of which of those things I wanted to do, but I wanted to be so much more than I was. Can you relate? Is that how you felt as a kid? Did you know what you wanted to be? I mean, you can comment down below or comment on this post. I didn't know. I'm still working on that. What did I end up doing? I'm 44 today. I'm not dead yet. But what did I end up doing? Let's talk about it. So I did finish high school at West Hall High School, and I went on a 2-year mission. This is my senior prom photo with my date, Emily, and this is me on my mission with Elder Busaith. They called us the long and short of the gospel. We got a lot of comments because I'm on the tall side and he's on the short side. This guy, though, has gone on to be very successful. You check out Christian Busaith. He's an actor. He's done lots of comedy. I did marry an amazing woman. This is my wife, Rebecca or Becky Baumgarten Garfield. She puts up with me somehow every day, and she's made me so much better than I am. So I achieved that, right? I did get married. I became a father to 7 amazing children. Now, if you're a mathematician, you probably looked at this and counted only 6, and that's because this little girl was a surprise. This is Katie Bell. She came a few years later, and so she is number 7. You can see the 6 on the left, and then the 7th. And I love all of my kids. I try to be a good father, and I fail every day, but I'm trying my best. I hope they know that. You can see here, this is my oldest, Brayden. You got Brayden, Landon, then you've got Brogan, and then Kalina, and Talon, and Griffin. And they're each special and totally unique, which is crazy because they all have the same parents. They were raised in the same home, but they're all incredibly different. So tell me how that works, right? So I love all my kids, and I love being a father. Did I mention I'm father to 7 amazing kids? This is a recent photo. I'm not quite as trim as I used to be. Definitely not a GQ bod. But this is us in a recent photo with our 2 puppies. And we have an amazing family. It's crazy, it's fun, and I love them. So I was making progress on my goals as a child, but I wasn't there yet. And what about my career? What did I end up? Did I become an astronaut? Well, no, I did not. I've had a career in IT, of all places. So I've moved up through the years. I've done IT, started off in the Army as a unit supply specialist and armorer. Then I moved into IT as a help desk, started at the very bottom, the entry level. Moved up to systems engineer, the network engineer, management, moved into management, back to technical. I moved up to data center administrator. Then I became a consultant for a company called SoftChoice and did a lot of Microsoft consulting. I became a senior manager doing auditing, and then I started my own company. I know, it was crazy. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to be one, but things just worked out. And I became the CEO of Phase 3 IT, my own company. Then I became a senior director of cloud user services at VIA, and then their chief technology officer. And right now I'm working on what's next in my career. So you can see my career is not what I planned on, but I've learned so much over the years. And I think that you're going to find that life happens, and it's not often what you plan for. So being open to new opportunities, you know, being open to inspiration and revelation is so important because you never know where you're going to end up. But God has a plan for each of us. I know He's done that for me in my life. Miracles have happened to get me these jobs and to help me find the people in my life. So I haven't become most of the things I thought I wanted, and that's okay. You can see all these things. I don't have a GQ bot. I'm not a video game tester. I barely play video games anymore, and I get after my kids when they do. And so it's interesting that I didn't become what I wanted, and maybe you haven't either. And if you're anything like me, then we're still not 100% sure of what all we want to be, and we still want to be more. I mean, life is about progress. It never ends. We still are growing. If you're not growing, you're dead. So we're all growing. So I'm still wanting to be more than I am. And so I'm going to end this video with a question to you, my friends. What do you want to be when you grow up? And if you don't know yet, that's okay, because we're all still growing. It doesn't matter if you're 9 or 90. God's plan is eternal, and you're progressing, I'm progressing, we're all growing together. So if you like this, please let me know. If you have any feedback, let me know, and comment on what you want to be when you grow up, or kind of what's happened in your life to change your original plans.